Leo. Okay, before I get started on your reading, I want to show you something. Um, I did Aries reading before yours, and I didn't notice that this card. I forget the camera things up there. I didn't notice that this card was in the deck in the opposite direction as the other cards, and I don't know. I'm getting a lot of energetic influence here. It says the marrying maiden, interaction in its mundane social context, but also one's mystical and cosmic relationships. Transformation is possible through the mastering of instincts, ambition, the drive to rise up, selectivity, magnanimity. Magnanimity. I'm like that fucking kid off of Finding Nemo. Nemo. Anonymity. Okay. Enlightenment, endarkment, covert interaction, discretion, and influence, mystical and cosmic relationships. Interaction in its mundane social context, everyday, social media, hi and bye. Hey, how you doing? I'm good. And then also one's mystical and cosmic relationships, covert interaction. I'm getting telepathy vibes with this. Astral traveling, as well as like soul ties and soul connection, selectivity, magnanimity, influence, discretion. You are a complex mug. Yes, you are. You got a lot of layers to you, Leo, that a lot of people don't necessarily credit for. You know, they think it's all superficial with you. When you really have many, many layers to yourself. It's not all self-absorption. When really, no, not at all. Y'all are some really sincere people. Y'all are of the heart of a lion. We have perseverance. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. Don't stop it. We have manifestation and financial discipline. Look at this though. Look at that. You see what I'm saying? It's like outwardly, and then we have pride. Love partnership is behind that. Individuality, healing. And I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to pull no more. But you have the healing, the individuality. This is what people may see, that this is what you're doing. This is what people may see, but this is what you're doing. That blue is guarding this, right? This red is presented in this way, this higher evolved type of way, but you hold close to you what is sacred in that sacral chakra center, or you can clearly see, you can connect with people you love, or a person that you love in a very sincere way, or a very elevated perception. That's where you've been healing. And that's why your pride is able to be seen outwardly. It can be viewed. You're doing what it takes. Like you got it, baby. Synchronicity. 87. I just love how these colors match up together. And what colors had I seen? So you got a lot of these colors out here, but it's the presentation of it. It's the way that you you do your thing, and no one knows what you're doing with your thing, if that makes sense. because it's done with discretion, but it's done in a way that the person you love knows that you love them. I think past, it could have been about appearances, it could have been public, it could have been a very public breakup as well, or embarrassment, or something that gives a blow to the pride. But I feel like with this perseverance and this manifestation, this financial discipline card to me is showing up more so like the way you manage your time, or the way that you spend your energy, and what you're concerned with spending it on. Keeping still, mountain. That was in reverse. I saw something flip. Okay. So we have coming to meet. Why would I show you like that? You can't even see it. Oh. Coming to meet. The success of any interaction is based on the absence of any preconditions. Instinctive memory and alertness that can manage and mold the collective. Alertness, the personnel manager. Aloofness, manipulation, honesty, interference, management, conditions. We have keeping still, mountain, in action, focused and channeled energy, temporary and self-imposed inaction for the benefit of assessment, concentration benefits from stillness and withdrawal, a passive rather than active energy, peacefulness, explanation, self-discipline, controls, concerns, think before you speak. So when it came to that social interaction, and I was talking about, Facebook, Instagram, passersby, how you doing? I'm good. That shit is minimal because you've been doing more shit in another context. We have progress. Ooh, look at that. By design, progress cannot exist in a vacuum and is dependent on interaction. Life is a continuous cycle of experiences with beginnings, middles, and ends. Rectification, altruism, hunger, collaboration, creative block, humility, change. The secret is no expectation. So the changes that have been going on with you, and you got this is a 44. Gate 44. What's been going on with you was kind of like I'm gonna sit back. Like, once you've been so ever present, now people can't see you the way that they once saw you because you're not available to the minuscule, the social aspect. We have amethyst here, and it's like, all right, like that's not what you're working on. This crown, you're working on these higher chakras, and it really does take you. Well, this is yellow jade, the solar plexus. So you're using your energy in a more focused way. And I said that with the financial discipline card. I knew that it's not just money and finances. It's more so heart energy, what you're giving that energy to. You rule the heart. As an erogenous zone, you rule the back. And Cancer rules like the nipples and the breast. But for the most part, you rule the heart. And that's keeping everything else pumping. So if you're not in the center of attention, people know this. But it's not personal. But it was personal, if that makes sense. It's not personal to them, but it was personal to you. It was a necessity. Oh, this is sliding up on the love partnership. This is touching manifestation. You're caught between these two energies. Devil. I'm gonna lay this spread a little different. Because I'm seeing, it's like, oh shit. What crowns you though? That's the only way. It's like you You're coming up. You're not this way, you're not this way, you're not down, you're coming up and out of whatever this fucking energy was. Eight of Wands. This is the only card out of all these cards that fell on the floor that actually showed face up. And I'm gonna take it. I'm seeing some really good cards down here though, now that I'm looking at them. Nine of Pentacles, King of Wands, the Chariot, Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Death card, King of Pentacles. I cannot put these back. I can't put them back. I cannot put them back. I was sitting here thinking, like, why are you stuck between Ten of Swords and Eight of Swords? Wouldn't it be the Nine of Swords? And it very well could be, even though it's seemingly missing here. What is actually there is the Nine of Pentacles. Is the Ace of Pentacles. So you have a love partnership coming in. You have now the courage, and your pride is restored. Whatever you went through, and your root chakra has now been purified through the crown. Like, you've done the work. You've done the work. You're actually living, walking, being your alignment. And that's because the love energy has been manifested. You've actually used that to make great change. That is a 15. 8 and 7 is 15. That would be this devil energy. But that's the only reason why you were able to get up out of it. But I think the reason why the Nine of Swords isn't here is because the devil isn't in its lowest form. It's not in its most dense form. You're seeing the devil for what it really was, which is a misconception, or it was a preconceived notion, or it was a point of view, or a lens based off of what you had been through or what you had experienced. And that's no longer here. That's why the Nine of Swords is not here. You actually have the Ace of Pentacles in its place. And at one point, when you were in the devil energy, when you were down in the Ten of Swords, all you could see was the devil. And now you're in a position, you're not stuck with this Eight of Swords here. You're stuck from going back to the Seven of Swords, where you would be deceiving yourself and telling yourself, this is not what that is. This is not what that is. You're sitting here and you're being still. And you had to sit in the Eight of Swords in order to feel what was what. You had to feel it and filter it through this heart center space. Through the energetic discipline of retracting from people, places, and things, especially social media. Really having to bring yourself back from, reel it in, like have to bring yourself back from where you had been so far removed from yourself that allowed this Ten of Swords to occur. So this Eight of Swords, you weren't able to move backwards. You always assumed this Nine of Swords was sitting right above this devil's head. You just knew. From this vantage point, you don't know what the fuck is up here. Right? You lower than low. So of course everything looks demure. Everything looks suspect. But the sun, your nature, your very own nature is just too bright. It has more of an influence. This is like the inner child. This is like the higher mind. This is that vitality, that hope, that renewal. Things reach up towards the sun when they grow. I have a window that's facing west, and I only get the sun in the evening when the sun is setting, if it can come through the trees or the angle is right. My plants will reach sideways, trying to get as much sun as possible. They don't grow straight up. They're trying to reach the sun. And that you too have reached up. And in doing so, when you break ground, you're sitting right in smack dab in the garden of the Ace of Pentacles. There's a love partnership that has been there and has always, but between the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Swords, all you could feel like was nah. Because Nine of Swords is going to be anxiety-ridden and fear-based anyway. But that Eight of Swords, that Nine of Swords, like you were kind of, it's like You had an Ace of Swords situation that extended all the way to the 10. This is your ending with someone else. Something else. But I'm seeing love partnership. It could have been someone else, right? Now is your journey to begin again. You're getting an Ace of Pentacles right at the end of a journey, and it's trying to descend you backwards down the aces so that you can realize the truth for what it really is. But it's stopping you at the 8 to say, hey, you're not going to go back and look into some deception or to find yourself deceiving your own truth and get back into the state. You know what I'm saying? You're not going backwards. You're not going backwards. So they're like, you don't have to. It's not necessary. We got the seed for you right here, and it needs to be planted. Let me look at these other cards I told you came up. We had 9 of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to lay them to where... Let me move these out of the way. Because this 8 of Wands is like... It's kind of just floating here, like an outcome for this little 5 card spread. But when all these other ones fell, I'm like, oh shit. Like, I wanted to just put them back, but something in me said just look at them. 7 of Pentacles at the bottom. You've been waiting for this change anyway. Nine of Pentacles, King of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, Chariot, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, 6 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, Death, King of Pentacles. What I think is you dealt with somebody who had a fiery nature. And you're fire, so, you know, their fire placement could have been more prominent than yours. Or could have been more dominant. I won't say domineering. Dominant than yours. So you went from 9 of Pentacles to 10 of Pentacles. Cool. But that started something. Okay? That started something, and it really, even though these are very positive cards, a pentacle was taken and invested somewhere else. It could be financially and really wanting this thing to grow, but it could also be phallically. This could be the representation of giving someone a seed or having a womb space. That is, you have fucking Ace of Pentacles and a baby sitting up here in the Sun card. It could literally have been a pregnancy. Because we have a family traveling here. Then what? Trying to work together. This is a 3 energy here. Transformation. Turning a person into the King of Pentacles. They're no longer oscillating in that fire energy. Somewhere along the lines, because this could be King of Wands, this could be you, male or female, coming across Pentacles. You have financial discipline here. So you could have been using fire all this time. Swords is not your thing. You got 10 swords, you got 8 swords. Like, when it comes to, even though you can be very logical and you can use your mind in a very constructive way, you are being asked not to use so much of your energy. Like, you had to learn how to use it wisely from somebody who actually knows how. The 9 of Pentacles, which the 10 of Pentacles would show you that. Like, this was something here. In transit, in travel, maybe there was something that occurred in transit and travel that led to the 6 of Swords. And I think this is where the swords start to ascend towards the 10. We're not seeing it here exactly in that manner, but the way I said your swords ascended, Your swords went up. So I'm just seeing the aftermath, the 10. But I feel like this is showing me you ended up at the 6, but then there was a 7. That 8 was on the other side. You went through the fears, you went through anxieties, you went through those sleepless nights, insomnia, headaches, migraines, not being able to concentrate during the day, those types of things. And then finally it ended. So when you see something brand new now, even though you had a chance to have pentacles, you took one and went somewhere else with it. You went back to fire. You went to something passionate. You went to something that sparked you, and it didn't prove to be in your best interest, because when you tried to build, there ended up being 3 in the mix, and these things were hollow. They were just there. They were hollow. They weren't symmetrically, they look solid, but if they're hit with certain force, it will break apart. And that had to come to an end, because it's teaching you how to be this stable individual, this stable type of being. I see. This is the Marian Maiden. This energy that came out, it came out. It's very structured, but at the same time very fluid. It has like that charm there with the feathers and the buttons, and it's very tactile, very crafty. And that's something after the 8 of Pentacles, which is craftsmanship and things like that. A person is sitting with their creation, all of their plenty. This is reminiscent of that to me. You have to get back up to this king status. Right now you're at 7 of Pentacles. I get it. So you may have to take a step back, because I think what you're desiring and what you need to achieve, you have to allow the person who rules Pentacles to rule the Pentacles, or to manifest them, to teach you how to manifest them. It's going to take perseverance, and that's what you're going to have to pull back and be receptive in order to do that. So coming in with this king energy is kind of what got you fucked up. I'm just saying. You took that, like, you followed what you did what a king of wands would do. You're asking to be more queen-like and be more receptive. Fire and water versus fire and air. Because I told you, air got you fucked up. You're going to have to allow someone else to communicate how this manifestation process works and what it's necessary for. That is the reason why things don't, you can't grasp how it has been. This is what made you go internal in the first place. Keeping still mountain, progress, the Marian Maiden, coming to meet, crafty, management, the personnel manager. You assume because they were at 9 of Pentacles that I'm King of Wands. It was like an assumption. You didn't know what they were made of. Aloofness, manipulation, honesty, interference, management, conditions. Instinctive memory and alertness that can manage the mold the collective. The success of any interaction is based on the absence of preconditions. So that's it, Leo. And I'll see y'all later.